Welcome to Port. It's right. PC games don't have to be 100% designed for stereoscopic 3D to work. Games are already rendered in... Oh, okay, let's try this. I'm sorry. What? Welcome.
Can't take any more.
Now, one of the advantages that DDD has is if you don't have an HDMI connector, they also support the side-by-side and the... Oh.
I'm not doing this again. You're at 16 minutes.
My computer just shut down. Welcome to MTBS's 2011 3D Buying Guide. A lot has changed within the last year, so we thought we'd give this a whole refresh, a brand new guide. Now this primer is going to explain how 3D works, what technologies are available, and the rules to follow when shopping for a 3D display. Now, what is 3D? Well, 3D is a real sense of depth. So when you play 3D games or watch 3D movies, the screen should actually look like a window, not just a flat picture or a flat display. This means that it should actually seem as though you could stick your hand in, and in some cases things could actually come out of the screen or seem to fly out at you. And it really is quite something. It's a lot of fun. Now, the good news is there's a lot of content available, especially in video games. So you could play 3D video games, you could watch 3D movies, and there's actually occasional 3D broadcasts on television, like sports broadcasting, for example. And the good news is a lot of the standards are in place. So when you buy a 3D television, for example, more likely than not, you'll be able to enjoy most of the 3D content in the market, if not all of it. Now, how does 3D work? Well, you have two eyes for a very good reason. If you close one eye at a time, or you open one eye at a time, you'll see that you have two unique perspectives. Now, each view is somewhat different, where one eye gets information that the other one does not. So what your brain does is it combines this left and right image into a single 3D image, complete with depth and all that exciting information that you need two eyes to see. Now, when we're talking about 3D displays, they have to creatively come up with a way of mimicking this, to fool your mind into seeing a true stereoscopic 3D image. Now, there are three dominant technologies for doing this. The first are LCD shutter glasses. Now, this is an example of shutter glasses. There's several types of brands on the market. In this case, it's by Sony for their 3D televisions and displays. The second is polarized glasses. Similar idea. In this case, they're Zalman glasses, but if you go to a movie theater, like a Real D movie theater, they tend, or a Master Image movie theater, they tend to be polarized as well. And last are Auto-stereoscopic 3D, or glasses-free technologies. And one of the most popular examples of this is the Nintendo 3DS, where you could play it, you could see 3D, and not have to actually wear 3D glasses while doing so. So let me briefly explain how these technologies work. So, LCD shutter glasses. First, it starts with the display. So with me I have the 24-inch PlayStation 3 3D display. It's brand new on the market, and to my right is last year's Panasonic 3D HD TV. It's a 50-inch model. Now, the display has to put out a left and right image. So in this case, they put out a left and right image, left, right, one after the other, 120 times per second. So it's happening very, very fast. So if you were to look at this display with the naked eye, it would either look blurred or double because it's happening so quickly. But in reality, it's left image, right image, left image, right image. Now, when we're talking about 120 times per second, this is often referred to as a refresh rate. So you may hear a refresh rate of 120 hertz, 120 times per second, that type of thing. It's all the same thing. Now, the glasses are the second part of the equation. If we look carefully, at this time the glasses are both clear. Each lens is an LCD panel. It's either completely black or completely transparent. And what would happen is, in cooperation with the display, it will go to a black phase, a transparent phase. So left is blocked, then right is blocked, left is blocked, right is blocked, left, right, left, right, left, right. Now, the glasses are doing this in synchronization with the display. And by alternating left, right so fast, it's happening so quickly that your brain doesn't really detect it. And the end result is you get this 3D image. Now, the shutter glasses are very much still the most popular option amongst display makers. Right now, the most popular models are put out by NVIDIA, Sony, Samsung, and more. It really is very much the default technology amongst most of the 3D manufacturers. Now, there's a good reason for this. First off, when we're talking about shutter glasses, it's full resolution per eye for the left-right eye. You're not missing out on anything in the display. It's also easy to view a 3D image from different parts of the room. So whether you're sitting directly in front of the TV or to the side, you should be able to experience the 3D just as well as anybody else in the room. There's nothing about the technology that limits where you sit. And you can have multiple glasses. So what often happens with displays like the television or in this case the Sony display is they may have more than one emitter to synchronize with the glasses. So you could be seated in different parts of the room, it won't impact things. Now there are some trade-offs. First, when it comes to shutter glasses, there is a drop in brightness, there's no question. But there are new technologies on the market related to shutter glasses that have improved this significantly, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Also, extra glasses can be pricey, but that also has changed. When I bought an extra pair of glasses for my television, it cost me $250 to get a second pair. But now, similar or better glasses could go for less than $100 a piece. So there's really been a very good price drop to make this approachable by consumers. Now, another technology amongst glasses are polarized glasses. Now, when we're talking about polarized display, they're also referred to as passive displays because there's no shuttering. It's not an active technology, it's a passive technology. Now, it's when we're talking about displays in the home, it's similar to the movie theater technology, but it's not quite the same. First, when we're talking about light coming out of a display, it could be vibrated a different way, different angles. What matters most is that you could differentiate the light from the display in two different ways. So you could have the light come out one way for the left view and another way for the right view. So the way they do it is because they can't get 100% of the resolution for the left eye and 100% for the right, they divide the resolution in half. So 50% of the lines are for the left eye, 50% of the lines are for the right. So imagine, if you will, you have a traditional display. In front of that display is a polarizer. And the polarizer determines which pixels are seen by the left eye, which pixels are seen by the right. The other side of the coin are the glasses themselves. And each lens is rotated in a specific direction, so it will filter the appropriate light for each eye. So you'll get a left view and a right view. And of course you get that full stereoscopic 3D image. Now, polarized isn't quite as popular in the consumer markets as the shutter glasses, but they are becoming more and more popular. And the big names that have been backing this most recently are LG Electronics and Zalman. And in the professional markets, when it comes to 3D, the polarized is very popular as well. Now, what are the big benefits of polarized? Why are people suddenly taking an interest in this technology more and more? Well, the loss in light for polarized is significantly less for shutter glasses. It was much more pronounced last year, though. This time around, the differences aren't quite as high, so it raises some questions. The other thing is the glasses are very cheap. I mean, I commented earlier that the shutter glasses dropped from being hundreds of dollars to, you get new pairs for under $100. But polarized, I mean, if you go to a movie theater, they're practically throwing them away. You have to send them in for recycling. So clearly the cost for manufacturing and buying polarized glasses is very inexpensive. And last but not least, even though shutter glasses, you really shouldn't pick up a shuttering effect or a flickering effect, some people are still a little sensitive to it. So one of the benefits of polarized is there is no shuttering. But there are some minor drawbacks. You lose half the vertical resolution. If you recall earlier, half the lines are for the left eye, half the lines are for the right. So obviously there's some loss there. Also, when it comes to multiple person viewing, when it comes to a 3D HD television, it's not such a big deal. I mean, the big screens, the big polarizers, there's a fair bit of flexibility there. But when you start talking about desktop displays with a polarized solution, you tend to have to sit in a pretty fine angle. So you have to be pretty centered to the screen. This could be limiting for some, but the trade-off is you really do get this wonderful 3D experience. Now the last option is glasses-free technology. Now usually glasses-free or auto-stereoscopic, the most popular choice right now is parallax barrier. Now the way this works is, imagine if you will, a traditional LCD panel, and then on top of this panel is you have what we call the parallax barrier. And what this does is it determines which pixels on the panel are for your left eye and which are for your right. And the end result is you don't have to wear glasses, and you get this wonderful 3D experience. But the trade-off, though, is because you're taking the existing pixels from a traditional panel and you're dividing it between the left and right eyes, you're losing half the horizontal resolution in 3D mode. Because again, 50% for the left, 50% for the right. But again, in 3D, you're getting half that horizontal resolution. Now, as far as which solutions are taking advantage of auto-stereoscopic, right now the popular choices are mainly in the mobile field. The LG Optimus 3D, also known as the LG Thrill 4G, the HTC Evo, I mentioned earlier the Nintendo 3DS. These are all working examples. If you buy a 3D camera, they tend to have a glasses-free display. This is the Fuji W3. Again, it's a parallax barrier display, so you can watch 3D or preview your 3D pictures without glasses. So there's clearly some advantages. There's also some variations. Usually the parallax barrier is in a striped form, very simple. But companies like Master Image 3D are coming up with new ways of doing this that are somewhat more effective. And we'll see how these technologies develop. But it's very exciting that this technology is getting better and better. Now, big benefits, obviously this is great for mobile devices. I mean, it's inexpensive for small screens, and it's easy to demonstrate 3D on the go. I mean, if I want to show some friends something in 3D, it's really easy to do. I don't have to ask them to put glasses on or take out a special display. I just show it to them off my smartphone. But the drawbacks, as I mentioned, you lose that resolution. A big challenge with auto-stereoscopic is multiple person viewing, meaning like more than one person viewing the same screen in 3D is extremely difficult. This is why it's actually best suited for mobile right now, because you can actually move the unit exactly where you need it, and you don't have to worry about entertaining other people in the room. So it makes a lot more sense for mobile than it would for, say, a 3D television where you're trying to get the family together to watch TV. So in the case of a television, obviously glasses make a lot more sense. Now, let's talk about shopping. I mean, today is Black Friday, so obviously it's a heated frenzy to get the deals in time for the holidays, so let's make sure we make the right choices. So rule number one, buy the 3D display before buying 3D glasses. So now why do I say this? Well, the brands, the glasses, the displays, they don't always mix. In most cases, they won't. So buy the display first. In many cases, they come with at least one pair of glasses. The content itself won't be the problem, but the glasses and the displays are rarely interchangeable. So you have to be very careful. It could be an expensive mistake if you get the wrong glasses for the display that you want. And by the way, if you think that you could go to the local movie theater and grab hold of those glasses and take them home, it won't work. Again, the glasses are often specialized for the display that you buy. Now, make sure the display is actually 3D ready. I know I spoke earlier about refresh rates and 120 hertz and all this, but the fact is, this lingo or this language could be used for traditional 2D televisions that have absolutely nothing to do with 3D and don't have the ability to show 3D content. So, so ignore these numbers of 240 hertz or 600 hertz. You make sure that the actual television or the display is labeled as being 3D ready. So usually it's like a 3D ready statement. It may even tell you which glasses it's compatible with. So you have to pay very close attention to that. Now, a very important point when looking for a display, make sure it has an HDMI 1.4 or 1.4a connector or better. This is important because HDMI is pretty much the 3D standard for Blu-ray as well as console gaming, and pretty much all the PC gaming solutions support HDMI 1.4 in one way or another. There are other connectors that you need to pay attention to for a PC, but HDMI is the most important connector to get maximum compatibility. Now, next recommendation, give things a chance. More often, it's highly likely you're going to go to the local store, you're going to try out the 3D display, and I know from personal experience, the glasses, the batteries could be dead, or the display isn't set up for 3D properly. All kinds of problems. A lot of people go through these displays on a regular basis. So if you go to the store, the 3D doesn't look right, or you're seeing double, or it's not what you expect it to be, ask for a sales representative to help you out, because you really should see the way it should look. And also, don't limit yourself to the demo reel. You should ask to see if there's other types of content that you can see, so you can get a full breadth of what's out there for 3D. Now, ignore the anti-3D hype. Everybody loves, how should I say this? Everybody loves to hate 3D. It's very easy. It's obviously got a long history behind it, and it is easy to criticize for those who want to criticize. From one gamer to another, if you want a great gaming experience, if you have fun at going to see 3D movies, good 3D movies, get the display and get the display or the television that's going to ultimately deliver that, and you'll be happy. Now, rule number 5: research, research, research. I mean, I've made that mistake before where I buy things on a whim and I regret it later. Before you go to the store, read product reviews. Talk to fellow 3D gamers. We have a great community here at MTBS. You can post on the forums, ask all the questions you want. Someone out there will answer you. And really know what you want in advance. I mean, don't just buy according to sale. Look at the televisions. Look at what features you want. Know what you want in advance, and you'll be that much happier. Now, this is just the beginning. This year's guide is going to cover 3D televisions, gaming in the living room, the latest PC display hardware. There's been a lot of innovations in this area, 3D on mobile, and more. So stick around. We've got a lot more to share with you. Thanks for watching.